All right, guys, welcome back to Downtown Rams. As always, I'm your host, Alexis Kraft, joined here with my co host, Jake Ellenbogen, and we are continuing with our 2022 NFL Draft Prospect interviews. So, joining us on the show today, we have Vederian Lowe, an offensive tackle from the University of Illinois. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you all?
We're pretty good. We're excited to talk to you.
Awesome.
Oh, yeah, likewise. Like I said, I'm excited to be on. Thank you guys for having me.
For sure. To start it off, we just want to take it back to the beginning and ask how you got into the game of football.
For as long as I can remember, I was always a basketball player. Kind of what my first love was. I loved it, through and through. But then, as I got older, I was one of the bigger kids. I was on the bigger side for children. Once I hit about 6 or 7 or 8. That's kind of when I started, taking off in terms of size. So that's when my dad and them put me in football. So my very first time playing football, I think it was flag football at 8 years old, if I'm not mistaken. I think that was my first year ever playing like an organized type of football game. And right after that, I did 1 year flag, and I was just I was just so big compared to all the other kids. They were like, all right, yeah, we're going to immediately put you in junior tackle football. So then that's when I went into contact sports at 9. And ever since then, I kind of just, football was always something I was good at. Basketball was always my first love. I loved hooping. That was always, what I thought I would do, but I always say, I never got the basketball body. I got the football body. So, I just stuck to that one, and it's got me here.
Absolutely. And, growing up, did you have a favorite NFL player?
Yeah, growing up, my first favorite NFL player was Randy Moss, because my dad was a huge Minnesota Vikings fan. So that was my first ever like NFL player that I liked. And then when Randy Moss went to the Patriots, then Tom Brady became then I became a Tom Brady fan after that. So yeah.
Both very good players to be fans of, for sure. Both very successful careers. But when it came time for you to play in college, you ended up playing at the University of Illinois. So what was it about Illinois that drew you to the school and ultimately made you want to play for them?
So, just when I was getting recruited and whatnot, the University of Illinois, the coach Lovie Smith going there was a really big thing for me. I had known the previous coaches before, but just with Coach Smith being there, he already had such a big name. And then, him going to the University of Illinois, unfortunately we couldn't turn it around while he was there. But I that's what I thought, just going into it. I thought, he would be able to, change the program around and whatnot. And I wanted to be a part of that. And it helped that it was, only 2.5 hours from my hometown, so my family from Rockford would be able to see me play every home game and whatnot. And I just think that, just going back, like I said, I wish we came out with more wins, but I think that, that me going there, it helped me become the player I am today and the man that I am today. So I'm just glad I stuck with that.
Yeah, absolutely. And now, Vederian, what would be, if you had to say, like, I was an incoming recruit, how would you pitch Illinois to me?
If I had to pitch Illinois to you, I would say that Illinois is going to make you an outstanding young man as well as an outstanding football player. I think that with the academics that we have at the university and all the resources that we have at the university, our alumni, is spread far across the nation. I think that, there's an endless amount of opportunity, if you attend the University of Illinois. And I think that every person that attends the University of Illinois always comes out with a bunch of resources, tons of people that they know. And if you're a student athlete, then you come out, competing every year for something. We're always competing, no matter if it's football, basketball, whatever sport you play. Illinois is always going to be in competing contention for something. So I would say that definitely about anybody, recruit trying to come in.
It's a good pitch. Also playing at the University of Illinois, you play against a lot of really, really talented players, a lot of good opposing teams. Is there anyone that stands out to you during your college career, an opponent that you faced that you would say is the toughest guy you went up against?
I played a lot of great defensive ends in my time there. I think that the one guy or the one guy that gave me fits for every year that he was there that I played against him was AJ Epineza from Iowa. I played against him the first 3 years of our of college, and I think our freshman year I just had started playing that game out. He didn't play that much, but then my sophomore year he really did that to me my sophomore year, and then my junior year I had to make sure that I came back and couldn't make what happened the previous year happen again. So but he definitely 100% was probably the best player I played against over the consecutive years.
Yeah, and going back to college, is there a game that stands out to you as the the favorite your favorite game that you played in?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, definitely. Our win over Wisconsin in 2019. I think that game was 100% my favorite game. Just because that was our first time. That was my first time beating a ranked opponent. That it was at home. It was homecoming. Just the atmosphere after the game and whatnot. And that game turned like I think we ended up ripping off 4 straight wins after that game, and we went to a bowl like that season. So yeah, definitely the Wisconsin game, man. It was that comeback was. Well, I don't even think did we come back. I don't think so. I just know it was a close game. We ended up winning by a late field goal. So that game was definitely wild, 100%.
And it's cool that it was your homecoming game as well.
Yeah.
Because those are always really fun to win.
Yeah.
But just looking at your position, offensive tackle, what would you say is the most important trait for an offensive tackle to have?
For an offensive tackle, I would say athleticism is probably the main thing. I think that just with the guys that we have to block, they're just getting bigger, stronger, and faster every single year. Like they're coming out running a DN just literally ran a 4.3. Like they're literally getting bigger, stronger, and faster every single year. And I think that in order for us to, continue to be 300 pounds, but still have to keep up with them in terms of athleticism and whatnot, we just have to, be able to have great feet, be able to just be athletic, be able to move, also be able to bend with them because, they can bend and get down low and make all these funky like body movements that help them get to the quarterback. So I think that that's probably the number one thing I would say.
Absolutely. I mean, I can only imagine going against a guy that's literally, trying to run under a table essentially and trying to contort his body in a way that you didn't know a body could contort. Seen it a lot with Aaron Donald. And it's just different with him, even in the trenches. But talk about those crazy athletes like a Von Miller coming off the edge. I totally hear you there. With that being said, looking at your game, what would you say is your biggest strength?
I would say my athleticism is my biggest strength. I think that my athletic ability keeps me in great position and whatnot. I can recover easily, I feel like, and also can get to the spots that I need to get to in order to execute the blocks. I think that that's just my number one ability, and that's what I've always just prided myself on, just trying to make sure that I'm ahead of the curve athletically, as well as working on other aspects of my game. But I think that that's my number one thing.
Yeah. And, as the draft approaches, is there anything specifically that you've been working on improving?
Just overall initial power in the run game and just trying to make sure that I have great I just want to be the anchor in the pass game and have the overall initial power in the run game. So I'm working on, my, just coming off my inside zone blocks, outside zone blocks, working on making sure that I have the weights on my insteps on my pass pro when I get to a certain point. Just little nuances like that, they go so far when you get to this point in the profession. I'm on the doorstep of the NFL, and now it's honing in on those little technique tweaks that I need to, get down so that I can be, I can perform well in the NFL. So that's really just those things are things that I'm really working on as we get closer to the draft.
Now, as we get closer to the draft, is there any matchup that you're looking forward to? Maybe anybody that you want to go up against in the NFL?
Yeah, man. As I used to sit on the couch and watch these guys on Sunday, I'm like, man, I do not want to block that dude. I don't want to get in the way of that. Because I have an old friend, or I have a teammate that I play at Illinois. He plays for the Steelers, so I watch a lot of the Steelers games this year. And I see TJ Watt up there, and I'm just like, man, like, I don't know if I'm going to block a TJ Watt. But no, just to be able to even be in a game and compete against some of the great players like that, I would love every moment of it. You know, I'm a competitor. I'm a natural competitor, and it doesn't matter who it is, T.J. Watt, Devon Miller, Chandler Jones, any of the great defensive ends. I would love to compete against all of them.
And we have to ask. So we ask every prospect that comes on our show because we are primarily a Los Angeles Rams based podcast during the season.
Yeah.
Have you spoken to the LA Rams at all?
Not real. Just in like informal meetings and stuff at the combine. You know, nothing crazy. You know, just trying to. I feel like get their basic information on me. I think that's just the most I've spoken with the Rams on there.
Hey, still counts. Right?
Yeah. Still counts for something.
Still counts. I'll never forget one guy that we interviewed after, everyone was with their teams after the NFL draft. And he's like, it was weird because the Rams never even really talked to me. They just got my information and they never had any sort of communication. Yeah. And then they were like the most interested at the end of the day. I was like, yeah, sometimes that's how it is, man. It's a game of chess, essentially, because, you make too much noise, the media picks up on it, and then they report it. And then all of a sudden now every team knows that's who you're looking at. So, yeah, I mean, we'll see in that regard. But I got to ask you, okay. Who is Vederian Lowe as a player, and who is he as a person?
So Vederian Lowe as a player is a natural competitor. He's a guy whose focus is on trying to get better. Every single rep. I think that with the amount of playing time that I've had, the experiences that I've had. I've developed an edge. I developed a need to get better, and I developed a type of nasty attitude, over my game. So I would definitely say that. And just Vederian Lowe as a man, I would say reliable, consistent. I think that just with my life that I have going on, me being a dad, me being a husband, I pride myself on those things. You want to be consistent in your kids' lives. You want to be a consistently, good husband. So. I like to make sure I'm reliable for my boys. I like to make sure that I can, I do any and everything that my family needs of me. So that's definitely what I would say about myself outside of football.
Well, that's awesome. And we've really enjoyed talking to you. But before we let you go, we have some questions that we like to ask non-football related at the end, some recommendation questions. Okay. So if you could please recommend me a TV show, or recommend us, I should say, a TV show, an album, and then a snack. But the snack is for me.
Yeah,
because I always ask. That's all me because I love snacks. All right.
Okay. If I had to recommend a TV show, you guys ever heard of Power?
It's actually been one of the ones that have been recommended.
Yeah.
It's at the top of the list.
Yeah, Power, all the little TV shows off of Power. I think that all of those are fire. Definitely got to get that one a shot. And then that's only if you want to like drama and like all that suspense stuff, whatnot. But if I had to recommend an album, definitely got to go with Drake, Certified Lover Boy, 100%. Straight bangers. And then if I had to recommend a snack, like chips or
I just like snack. Like I ask everyone because I just like having a nice snack. Like if I'm watching Netflix or something.
Yeah.
Like just relaxing at night. I like to have cool snacks to eat.
Oh, okay. If I had to give you one snack that I like to eat late, it's like trail mix with like M&Ms and like peanut butter balls and stuff. Yeah. I'm a big trail mix guy with they gotta have candy in it though.
Yeah, I agree. I like trail mix, but you're right. They have to have M&Ms in it because I can't just do like the nuts and the raisins
No.
Okay.
And we're serious about the recommendations because I already forget who one of the prospects that we talked to was like, you got to watch Bel Air. And I went and literally binged it in one day. I mean, I'm serious. Like we'll watch the shows. As far as music, I mean, I probably won't like most of the music that is like, cause I'm out there. I like weird,
like
other
Drake,
stuff.
Man?
No, everybody
I do not
like Drake.
Man.
He doesn't. I know, it's so weird. I love Drake.
I gave that record a shot. It's just not for me. I'm more in, like into rock and metal. So
got you. I got you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
But I'll
I
check
like
out
Drake
Power
though,
at
so we're
some
good.
point.
Oh yeah. You gotta watch all the Powers, and then definitely gotta listen to the album, man. Straight bangers. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Hey, just give it another play in about a year. I feel like you'll change your mind.
Maybe. My favorite song off that album, was it No Friends in the Industry is on my workout playlist.
Oh yeah.
That's like at the top.
Yeah.
Fair Trade.
Fair Trade is hard. Yeah. That's tough.
I'd say that's my favorite. Champagne. In Too Deep is also probably up there.
Go down the whole thing, word for word.
Now, so did you like that album more than Donda 2? Because remember you did?
Yes, 100%.
Okay, see,
100%.
I don't know which one I like better. When both albums first came out, because it was it wasn't a competition, but it kind of was, because they dropped them like back-to-back weeks, and they were like feuding kind of and all that. So I kind of like Donda 2 better. First listen, I was like, I think I like Donda, like I saved more, but then I like Certified Lover Boy grew on me over time.
That's what it do.
Then eventually I was like, okay, this is actually a lot better. Like once I listened through this a couple more times, then I liked it. But really great recommendations. Definitely will check those out. And Power has been recommended a lot. It is at the top of our list to watch.
We got to give him a recommended TV show at least.
What y'all got?
I've been saying Euphoria.
Oh, okay.
But like everyone is watching that. Not everyone, but I know that everyone's like says to watch Euphoria, but it really is good. It really, really is good. It's intense though. It's intense. It's like kind of dark.
Is it?
It's very dark and very scandalous. And the both seasons are now all on HBO Max. So it's like a good show if you want to binge something over time that's like really crazy.
Okay.
And like you can't look away.
Okay.
But yeah.
All right.
Well, I'll give you a few. So have you ever had the Marvel? Have you ever seen the Marvel Netflix shows?
Like
Punisher, Daredevil.
Yeah. I've seen those. Yep.
Those are incredible, and they're also going to be on Disney Plus starting tomorrow. So if you do want to rewatch those are great. The other ones I would recommend, since you've already seen those, Barry on HBO Max, I'm blown away by. The next season 3 comes out in like 40 days. So that's great. Bill Hader's the main character in that. There's some other, good guest stars in there. But then Bel Air, I mean, it was recommended to me on one of our interviews, and I could not stop watching it. I thought it was phenomenal. I think the casting's great. It's, if you don't know, it's the Fresh Prince, but it's like a reimagined version. It's like if it took, it's like if it took place in like today's, era. You have social media, you have Uber and things like that. But it's like dark, it's like, the guy that they got for Jeffrey, like, he's sketchy. It's just, it's a really good show. And I think the guy that they got, Jabari Banks, playing a young Will Smith, I think is just absolutely perfect. Carlton is nothing like you would expect. Highly recommend it. It's on Peacock, I believe. So definitely check that out.
Yeah, I'll have to get that look. Definitely appreciate those. Appreciate that.
Absolutely. Happy to hook you up with the recommendations, and you just did for us. So
for sure.
It's like give a penny, take a penny,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. Well, thank you so much again for coming on the show. We really appreciate it. We know it's a really busy time. When we talk to prospects, we really appreciate them taking the time to come talk to us. We really hope, that you end up a Ram, but even if you don't, we will be fans of you no matter where you go and cheering you on. Thank you again, Vederian. We really, really appreciate it, and we will keep in touch.
All right. Thank you, guys. I really appreciate you taking the time to speak with me.
Absolutely. You take care and stay healthy, my man.
Oh, yeah. 100%. 100%. You guys have a nice night.
You too.
You too.
Bye-bye.